guys, what's up? It's Sab, and this is my YouTube channel, #Sab. Thank you so much for tuning back in. This is probably the first video that you guys are seeing from me since my 30-day social media, I was gonna say YouTube, but social media hiatus. So if you're not familiar with what that hiatus was or why I did it, I will go ahead and link my video above here so that you can take a peek and understand. But I'm back and I'm ready for the excitement of life. I have missed you guys so much and there's so many things that we need to talk about, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with just what this video is and what it's going to be for my channel going forward. So I have another YouTube channel called The Unplanned Mix. It was my original YouTube channel, started back in 2006, and I primarily started it as a makeup guru, beauty guru type gig, and I have several tutorials on there. However, I just recently, in the past year or so, maybe 2 years, realized that like I am not really cut out to be a beauty guru. Although I do purchase a lot of makeup, I would consider myself a makeup addict. I just don't, I'm not inspired in a creative way to change my look up as often as you need to as a beauty guru. I feel like you have to really test your limits, and primarily when it comes to tutorials. I mean, there's a lot of people that just do hauls and they do all that kinds of stuff, swatches, etc. But for me, I'm really passionate about the makeup and I just don't know that I could keep up changing the looks. That's just not my thing. So although I never really wear the same look every single day, it's still basically the same thing. It's just different products. I have a lot of them that I use around. So with that being said, I thought it would be fun to still do my makeup on camera. I enjoy that. It is something that I am passionate about. Not doing it on camera, but just in real life. And with that, I thought I would kind of mesh together topics of the week that we can kind of talk about. And eventually I would like to turn these into live sessions. I have actually done one of these on my Instagram as a live. I'm still getting kind of comfortable being in front of the camera. I know that seems weird. People that have known me forever, anytime I'm like, oh, like I have stage fright or being in front of the camera is awkward for me, it shocks people because I am a very outgoing person. But I think, you know, those insecurities that I have in my life, we all have insecurities. I think it's baby steps. So as much as I did enjoy my live sessions that I have done in the past, I'm just not quite ready to commit to doing it on a weekly basis. Like, it takes a lot of courage for me to hit that live button. So with that being said, today's video topic obviously is going to be about my return to YouTube, what you guys can expect from my channel, what I've been doing with my time off, and etc. So going forward, we'll just be talking about different fun topics, mainly motivation. Obviously, once this goes live, you will already know what I'm calling this series, but right now I have no idea. I'm thinking either makeup and motivation or socialize with Sab, or I'm not sure. But I have seen quite a bit of YouTubers do this type of thing where it's kind of a get ready with me, but they're having great conversations instead. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, and I wanted to jump on that bandwagon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will mention in this video, I'll probably talk a little bit about the products I'm using. I will have them on the screen and in the description box below, but going forward, I probably won't mention the products a ton just because this isn't really a tutorial. It's just kind of like us hanging out and chit-chatting, I kind of feel like. So let's get into it. All right, so really quick for starters, I've been loving this, and I don't have the full size yet, but this is the Glam Glow Nude Glow Illuminating Moisturizer. I got it from Sephora. I don't even know, maybe it was some points or something, I'm not sure. Because recently I've actually been way more into skincare. Obviously I'm in my 30s, so I just feel like that's a thing. And I'm less into trying new makeup because I kind of know what I like. I like new makeup, but you know what I mean. So this is amazing. I already put this on, and then I already put my Nivea chapstick on. I love the chapsticks. Any chapstick that's in this type of a tube, I don't care if it's made by Chapstick, Nivea, Sensations, whoever it is, I love it. I have them in my purse, in my truck, right here. So anyways, I will tell you guys that I missed you guys so much. So my first week or so, I don't know where anything is. Great. Oh. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. So my first week or so, I loved it. Like, it was so amazing to not feel this odd pressure. And I mean, I love you guys, but let's just get real. I think social media can cause a lot of pressure sometimes when it comes to motivating, especially in the kind of YouTubing and in social media, Instagram, etc. that I'm doing. I mean, I'm a weight loss person, obviously. So I feel like I have a tremendous amount of pressure to, you know, not only lose weight for myself, but to motivate and inspire other people and kind of show, you guys that you guys can do it. You know, if I can do it, you can do it. And that's basically what my message is. And I think oh God, I'm getting stuff everywhere. Sometimes I think that the pressures of that can kind of get out of hand, and I really kind of let it get to me. And so with, you know, 30 days left until I went to Mexico, and then the kids getting out of school, and I felt like my house was just a mess, and I felt like I was really not losing weight, like all these things just kind of came to mind, and I basically stressed myself out to the point of putting myself back in a depression, to be honest with you. And it was a very scary feeling for me, because in a recent video, I'm gonna try to find the video and put a little clip on here. There was a point in my life when I was so stressed and so depressed and overweight and just overwhelmed with so many different feelings. My husband came home to me in the kitchen in the dark with an entire package of double stuffed Oreos, and I ate the insides of all of them. It was just like a pile of black, and I was in the kitchen at the dining room table with the lights off. Like, I've been that person before because I've restricted, or I felt like I wasn't worthy, or just whatever else. Now, I don't really have a reason to feel that way. I have a lot of friends and family that love me and that care about me and that offer me a ton of support. My husband is extremely supportive with myself. All 5 of my kids, like especially after integrating in my 3 younger siblings. But in a recent video that I had done, I talked about how I couldn't even relate to that person anymore. I couldn't relate to the person that dealt with depression. Like, because it had been so long since I had felt that way or felt that low. And I realistically got myself right back there. So I was terrified. I was really nervous and stressed out. I had a couple of moments, very mild, but I had a couple of moments where I was so low that I did contemplate suicide, which is just kind of scary. I mean, it wasn't to the point where like I was nervous and I like prepared anything, which I've been at that level before, unfortunately, once or twice in my life. I've learned with my own mental, you know, the bottom line is mental illness is a serious thing. That's all I gotta say. And for somebody who has been so positive lately, to get that low in an instant. I mean, I don't even know. It's like, I know that the pressure was kind of weighing on me, but it wasn't to the point of that extreme. And for me to go like from 0 to 100 and feel that way, it is very scary. So I know my triggers, I know my warnings, I know I have a obviously very close relationship with my husband. And the second I started feeling the way that I felt, because I've been there before without sharing, and he's had to witness that, I instantly shared with him how I was feeling right away, because I just was like, this cannot be a thing. Why is my makeup looking like so cakey lately? I've pretty much primarily switched to just powders, by the way, but this shit's getting out of control. I just was over kind of the overly cakey look, but today, of course, the one day I'm on camera trying to do my makeup is when shit hits the fan. Anyways, long story short, it was a very short while. I want to say literally maybe a 8-day stretch of like, I didn't want to get out of bed. I, you know, had really terrible thoughts. It was a lot of craziness going on. I shared with my husband. I listened to some of my favorite self-help books. You guys know, oh God, I just ruined that. I love Mel Robbins, so I listened to the 5-Second Rule. I listened to Kick-Ass. I watched some of my favorite TV shows and did basically whatever I could to kind of get myself out of the rut that I was in, because it was really important to me. And it was this very awkward feeling, I'll have to say, to feel like you shouldn't exist and that you don't want to be here, but then also like not want to feel that way. I think that naturally when you have depression, you obviously don't want to feel that way. It's the worst feeling in the world. Sometimes the want to not feel that way is so minimal that you can't even touch on it. I'm speaking from my own experience, by the way. I can't obviously speak for everybody because that's just me and my thought process. Anyway, bottom line is I was in a funk and I really did not want to be there because I had just recently experienced so much passion and excitement and love for myself. And I think it was actually more of an eye-opener than I expected that, you know, as high on life as I was, I felt like I was untouchable. I felt like I was just doing amazing. It can be ripped from you so quickly. And I think that was really honestly the biggest eye-opening situation or portion of that for me. I feel like my words are all over the place. I'm sorry guys. This is, I don't know, a lot to share, I guess. So I took the day after my hiatus, I decided to instantly go keto because I felt the pressures of online. I felt like everyone and their freaking mom was going keto. I felt like I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see on WeightWatchers, which mind you, I wasn't seeing those results because I wasn't following the plan, but that's not what I was telling myself. I was telling myself that it just wasn't working and I wanted faster results. And then I had this pressure of going to Mexico and wanting to be, you know, I'd set this goal that I wanted to be 20 pounds thinner by the time I went to Mexico. I basically tripped myself up. Now, the only nice thing is I didn't have the pressure of weighing in front of anybody, right? Like I didn't have to come on camera and tell you guys what I did or what I didn't do, which was definitely a nice pressure, a nice little sense of relief. But then what I did was I stressed myself out so much that I just started eating like shit. And I was doing keto. And if you guys aren't familiar with keto, it's a very high fat, low carb diet, which is fine. People lose weight from it, but you're consuming so much fat that if you don't stay on the ketogenic plan, you basically screw yourself over from any loss that anything that you lost. You instantly gain that stuff back and then it's like double time. So I did about 2 weeks of keto and I wasn't really even like strict with it. So it wasn't even like an impactful keto. All I did was stress myself out. And then I sat and binged on Takis at night. You guys know that's like a no-no food for me because I just eat it like crazy. So I had a rough 2 weeks. And then after that 2 weeks is when I hit rock bottom. I literally just spiraled out of control with this break, guys. I can't even tell you. I hit rock bottom. And I realized I was not in a good place. And mind you, I will say I was still doing 80-day obsession through this whole time. I didn't skip a day. I was on point with my working out. And a big part of that was shout out to my husband because he was doing 80-day obsession with me. So he was a great motivator and he never really followed any type of diet plan or really had any knowledge. So he didn't know whether I was doing keto or anything else. So he couldn't really help me get back on track by saying, hey, the hell are you doing over there? So I was on my own and hit rock bottom, had the most miserable week ever, and I started to semi come out of it. I kind of just woke up one day and said, you know what, like rock bottom's just not okay. It's just not an okay place to be. I don't want to feel there, and the bottom line is I know for myself that I have 100% control over how I feel, what I do, and everything. If I want to be a certain way, if I want to be successful with my health and weight loss journey, then I have to put in the work. I can't just expect things are gonna happen. And I'm kidding myself if I keep playing these games, right? Like I can't play these games because it not only fucks with me physically, but it fucks with me mentally. I get mind fucked and then I'm just a hot ass mess. So, and not in a good way. So I decided that I was gonna start working on some content. I was like, you know what, I really miss YouTube and Instagram. I miss the community. I miss being able to be creative. I miss being creative. I miss editing my videos. I miss engaging with you guys. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna start kind of doing some research, listening to some music. Music is very therapeutic for me. And then I'm going to just kind of get my head back in the game and realize that I have to kind of get over myself. So I missed chunks of days of 80-day obsession, and currently right now we have like, I don't know, 8 days until we go to Mexico. And I'll tell you what my current state is. My current state is getting back on track. I've gained 10 pounds, guys. Literally, I'm 210. What? I've gained 10 pounds from binge eating and depression and feeling sorry for myself, which is pathetic. And I have not been taking care of myself at all. And then I slowed down my working out as well, which was the worst things. Now I'm at this point where I am going to Mexico and I worked so hard to feel good about how I worked so hard to just feel good about myself in general. It wasn't even about the Mexico trip, but just this was gonna be the first vacation in my life, and my husband and I vacation often, but this is gonna be the first vacation in my life where I actually like felt really good going into my vacation. And I I basically eyeliner is not on fleek today. I basically decided yesterday, actually, I decided yesterday that I am just going to start intermittent fasting for my next 8 days, you know, and even if I can continue to do it while I'm in Mexico, that'd be great. But, you know, I'm just gonna start fasting. So this morning, that's what I did. I had some hot lemon water, I had some tea, and now I'm just drinking some iced lemon water. I am going to stay within my WeightWatchers points at night when I'm eating my meal, you know, essentially my 1 or 2 meals a day, just to kind of get myself back on a situation. I'm probably not going to lose the 10 pounds I gain, and I know that some of that's water weight before I go to Mexico, but it's really important for me that I feel physically good. And to be honest with you right now, like, my clothes still feel amazing. The obliques I started to gain with doing 80-day obsession are like tight and great. Like, I feel really good. I still feel much better than I did in January 25th when I decided to start this journey with myself. But I also know that, you know, when I get back from Mexico, I want to be able to pick up back where I left off with my health and wellness journey. And I want to be able to get myself to a point where I feel excited and I'm inspired and I'm taking care of myself, and it's not just about numbers on the scale, and it's not just about how many workouts I can check off in a week. Like, I want to be able to get that mental clarity back, and the only way I can do that is if I start right now. There can't be tomorrow, there can't be tonight. I just need to start listening to my body again and get back on the rhythm of that. With all of that being said, I don't want this to be like a sappy video because I'm feeling really good, you guys. I really am. And it takes a lot of courage, I think, to get online and share transparency with people. And I think that that is my one of my biggest struggles. You know, I really tried to be transparent with you guys when I was filming my weekly weigh-ins and etc. But the truth is, you know, what you guys see on camera, what you guys see on YouTube is 10% of reality. It's what people paint for you, not just myself, but any YouTuber out there. I highly doubt that there's one person that is 100% transparent all of the time. They may have transparent moments. I'm having a transparent moment right now, but I think what I would like from myself is to be more transparent. And I know that there's going to be, you know, I know I'm not always going to be able to speak my mind, because part of it is, you know, kind of the aesthetic of your channel and what you want, what image you want to portray. And I don't mean that in like a negative way, like, oh, I want people to think I'm perfect. Not like that. But when you come to my channel, I want you to be able to get the very specific information that I'm wanting to give. And with that, that takes editing and planning, and therefore it's not very transparent. I try to be real. I try to be real with you guys, and I try to not sugarcoat things. But to be honest, I think I put way too much pressure on myself these last 4 months to be something that I guess I wasn't. I felt like I was in a really good place, and I felt like I was doing this for me, but realistically, I got really caught up and competitive with the other people around me, and I was comparing myself nonstop. And I think coming back to YouTube, I'm not gonna say that there's not, or Instagram, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna still have those emotions. Those just don't leave overnight, and they probably will never leave. I think that's part of what makes people amazing, is that when you compare yourself or when you are competitive, then you constantly are trying to one up. I just think that I need to be easier on myself when I don't always meet my expectations, because realistically my expectations are too high. And I think that is the relationship that I need to focus on with myself. And that's what I'm going to try to do when I come back. I'm going to try to be focused and motivated, but also live my life and be happy. And that is something I want you guys to be able to experience. It's something that I think you guys can all relate to. I know I can relate to that. And I'm really excited to be able to share that journey with you guys. So with that being said, you know, I'm still going to be doing weekly weigh-ins, 4-week check-ins, vlog videos, cook with Sabs, all that kind of stuff. I would really like to provide more Weight Watchers content. I don't feel like there's a lot out there. I think that the Weight Watchers is missing a lot in the community. When you think about YouTube nowadays, it's very visually pleasing, and if you don't have visually pleasing content, then, you know, people click off and they don't get to experience the information that you have to give. And I think that there's a lot of people that have a lot of valuable information. I think for me, I'd love to challenge myself to be able to give you guys some of the things that you would love to see, you know, recipes, cocktails, just whatever it is that has to do with Weight Watchers in a more interesting way. And I think that with all of that being said, I would also like to I will also be continuing to do this motivation and makeup. I think it'll be great. Obviously, we'll talk about different topics than just me returning to YouTube. It won't be solely focused on myself and everything else, as well as, you know, in July, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, July 1st, we are starting the hashtag 30 Days with Sab challenge. This is round 3 for me, and it is the self-love challenge. So I will be posting a giveaway that will be tied to that. Essentially how it works is I'm uploading a photo to Instagram with 30 different days of ideas of how you can take a photo that represents self-love. Every single time you post that photo and you use the hashtag 30 Days with Sab, you're entered to win the giveaway, and that is how it works. And then at the end of the 30 days, I use a randomizer to take that hashtag and pull and pick a winner. So I'm really excited to be able to focus on the self-love challenge because I think it's just perfect timing. I know it's perfect timing for me to be able to focus on that. So yeah, that is basically it. You guys, I love you so much, and I'm so appreciative of the support, and I'm really excited to be able to get back and get into the rhythm. You guys will probably see a couple of videos from me that were filmed during the hiatus because I've been kind of creatively working on some of those things before you actually get live back in action Sab post Mexico vacation. So I will see you guys soon, and thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.